Hey there, Grey's Anatomy fans. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the drama, the romance, and all the unforgettable moments from our favorite medical show. And today we have something extra special for you. Over the years, Grey Sloan Memorial has seen some truly wild and jaw-dropping medical cases. From the bizarre to the downright unbelievable, these cases have kept us on the edge of our seats, making us laugh, cry, and sometimes even gasp in shock. So grab your popcorn, get comfy, and join me as we count down the top 10 wildest cases that have ever graced the halls of Grey's Anatomy. Let's get started. Starting off at number 10, we have live bomb in patient's chest. Meredith finds herself in the most delicate of situations. A patient in the hospital has a bomb inside his chest, and Meredith ends up holding it to keep it from going off. Everyone is really nervous and working hard to figure out how to get it out safely. Eventually, the bomb squad steps in, and Meredith carefully hands the bomb to the squad leader. Just when it seems like everything is okay, the bomb suddenly explodes in the hallway, and the squad leader dies. This episode ends with Meredith thinking about how close she came to losing everything. At number 9, we have patient diagnosed with Auto-Brewery syndrome. Richard thought alcoholism was to blame when Dave Buckley, a teacher, passed out in class, injuring himself and a couple of students with a saw. However, the surgeon soon discovered that Buckley's outrageous BAC level was due to Auto-Brewery syndrome, in which his GI tract fermented any sugar he ate and turned it into alcohol, making him drunk.
He didn't take it. You know how many alcoholics I've met who've passed on a drink?
Why is his blood alcohol through the roof? Are you trying to lose your license?
I was testing a theory. After I left his room, I ran some labs. He's got Auto-Brewery syndrome. It's incredibly rare. His GI tract contains a yeast that ferments any sugar he eats and turns it into alcohol. It was probably the Jell-O.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, that sounds made up.
Well, maybe that's because I've been around the block a few times more than either of you.
And at number 8, we have girl can hear all of her internal organs. Demi Lovato Guest starred as Haley, who was thought to be schizophrenic. Alex Karev, however, thought there was something else going on, and he was able to diagnose her as having a small hole in her inner ear that not only amplified all outside noise, but allowed her to hear everything that was going on inside her body. The parents are relieved and hug each other upon hearing that their daughter is not schizophrenic.
Rare, and it's hard to diagnose. The condition wasn't even written up until 1998. The noise sensitivity, the sandpaper, it's because Haley could hear everything going on inside her body, and every sound outside was magnified. That's why she couldn't sleep or eat. She's not schizophrenic.
And at number 7, we have Santa who couldn't stop vomiting. Santa Claus was a repeat visitor to the clinic for vomiting, but as nothing seemed wrong with him, they thought he was just looking for drugs. Joe Wilson and Alex Karev figured out his migraines, and other symptoms were actually cyclic vomiting syndrome. They give him drugs and say they'll make sure to set him up with a primary care doctor. Santa Claus thanks Joe for what she did for him.
Good care of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure saved my biscuits from the fire in this one, Doc. Thanks.
Well, thank her. Someone else might have let your biscuits burn.
Darling, I could hug you.
That's fine.
At number 6, we have Richard is poisoned by his hip replacement. Richard Weber's medical issues took a very public turn when he began talking nonsense during a presentation at a surgical conference. Andrew DeLuca finally came up with the answer to what was ailing the veteran surgeon. It wasn't Alzheimer's, but rather cobalt poisoning from a leaky hip replacement.
That's it. You're done. Get out. We need to re-sterilize.
No, Bailey,
We
listen to
gotta-
me, okay? Look, you don't need to do the biopsy, all right? His hip replacement was made out of cobalt.
We did a heavy metals test. It came back negative, right?
Not for cobalt. That test is mercury, arsenic, and lead. We wouldn't see that.
Right. And if that hip is deteriorating, Bailey, cobalt poisoning would explain the dementia, the depression, hallucinations, tremors, everything, okay? And every second that it stays in his body, he's getting sicker. Bailey, please, trust me.
He was operated on, and his hip was replaced, removing the toxic sludge from his body. Richard woke up in the ICU after a while with Maggie by his side. He recognized her and answered some questions correctly. His tremor was also gone.
Do you know where you are?
Grey Sloan Memorial.
Coming off at number 5, we have toxic blood downs several surgeons. This episode showed an entire operating room of surgeons passed out on the floor. Marina Rose is a patient in the hospital. It turns out, an herbal supplement combined with her chemochemicals had created a neurotoxin, poisoning anyone who came in contact with her blood. So the interns took turns going into the OR to pack her abdomen and do a temporary closure, so she was stable for transport. She was then taken to ICU and given special dialysis to remove the toxin from her blood.
She's still toxic?
She's on CRRT. It's a type of dialysis to remove the toxin from the blood. You should be able to go in a few hours.
At number 4, we have baby born with brain outside of his body. Baby Tyler's journey started in this episode as the medical professionals thought part of his brain had grown outside of his body. The growth turned out to be full of fluid, and by the time the doctors were finished operating on him, baby Tyler would be left with just a simple scar on his reconstructed forehead.
He looks beautiful.
Yeah. When he's 6 feet tall and has a full head of hair, all of this is going to recede to just a tiny little scar on his forehead. The girls are going to love it. It'll give us some mystery.
And at number 3, we have the man with one leg in the middle. Brian had been diagnosed with osteosarcoma in his pelvis, spine, and sacrum. Callie Torres was called in to consult, and she developed a plan that would amputate his left leg and reattach it in the center of his body after removing the cancerous bone. She and her team practiced the surgery and intended to practice a few more times, but Brian fell and fractured his pelvis, meaning they had to operate immediately.
And this fractured his pelvis.
What?
Our timeline has changed. This fractured pelvis has compromised blood flow to the leg we need to salvage. The window's closing. If we wait, there won't be anything left to use in the reconstruction.
Okay, well, when do they want to do it?
Tonight.
Would have liked another run through.
Okay, when can he come?
He's not. After the fall, the patient's not stable enough to move. We have to go to him.
It's an away game.
It's an away game.
They took him into surgery and were able to complete the operation with only a few minor problems, giving him the potential for a longer life and even possibly the ability to walk.
Damn.
Told you. It's a miracle.
At number 2, we have Addison performs a uterine transplant. After a decade away, Addison returned in season 18 with her character. She is aiming to perform a historic uterine transplant on a patient called Tova. Tova's husband was diagnosed with malignant mesothelioma and died. But before he died, he froze his sperm, giving her the hope that she'd eventually bring his child into the world and realize her dream of being a mother. Addison's short-term goal was to allow a young widow to become a mom with her late husband's frozen specimen. The surgery was a success, and Tova was stable after the surgery.
Congratulations.
So far, so good. There's minimal output from her drains. Doppler studies look good, but the true success will be when she gets pregnant and you deliver a healthy baby.
Finally, at number 1, we have In-Utero brain surgery. Arizona Robbins returned to Gray Sloan Memorial for a first-of-its-kind surgery, in which she performed brain surgery on a baby with a blood vessel abnormality before it was delivered. While unquestionably risky, the baby's chances of survival without the surgery were small. In the end, she was able to successfully insert the metal coils into the baby's brain, saving its life.
It's still early, but the procedure went well. And so far, the baby's doing great. Her cardiac output is decreasing and it looks promising. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
And there you have it, folks. Those were some of the wildest and most unforgettable cases that have ever rocked Gray Sloan Memorial. From explosive dramas to miraculous recoveries, Grey's Anatomy never fails to surprise us with its incredible storytelling and medical marvels. If you enjoyed this countdown, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more Grey's Anatomy content. Leave a comment below and let us know which case shocked you the most or if there are any other wild cases we missed. We love hearing your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your scrub caps on and your hearts open. This is Cinema Clips signing off. Stay wild, Grey's fans.